extraño las calles, tío. Ya le voy a mandar a ver si qué dice, tío. O no de aquí. A ver si conoce, va a decir, no, va a decir. No conozco aquí, va a decir. Las calles de Virginia. Ya está haciendo el tráfico ya.
This all coming via his Twitter account, via sources telling ESPN there's going to be a lot of changes to the protocol in an effort to keep the season moving. They don't want players hanging out with non-team guests at road hotels. And if you're going to go out, it has to be important. It's got to be an emergency. There's no longer going to be a list of approved restaurants. In college football, Alabama has returned to being the national champion. Feels like a undefeated, and Nick Saban has another college national championship. And in baseball, it looks like the Sox are moving on from Manny Ramirez. Well, the Sydney Blue Sox, and apparently there's a baseball league in Australia. Manny Ramirez was playing there, and he is no longer on that team. The 48-year-old's fitness and other issues were not given as a reason for the team moving on from him. From the Crop Metcalf 5-Star Sports Desk, this is Tomas Kleiman on 106.7 The Fan. Big fan of the show.
It's going to be interesting. He actually came by and we had a great conversation. He's going to take some time, think some things through, and we'll see. In the meantime, we're going to do our player evaluations, our positional evaluations, our side of the ball evaluation in terms of offense, defense, special teams. And then, in the meantime, I will be talking with our coaches about those things, about the players that we want back, how these players are going to fit, what's the best way to utilize these guys. And then we'll, at some point, when Alex is ready to sit down and talk, we'll talk again and go from there.
Head coach Ron Rivera on an afternoon drive radio program of note, the Grant and Danny radio show. Yesterday, welcome back, you're listening to 106.7 The Fan. That was Rivera responding to our question, is Alex Smith going to be back as his starter this coming year? Well, it was not an answer per se, one way or the other. He didn't stand on the table for Smith and say, look, if he wants to be back, he's our guy. He talked later in the conversation about whoever's at quarterback, they're very likely having to deal with the quarterback conversation and a quarterback competition moving forward that isn't going to be solved at the start of training camp. His regret, he said, from this past season was just giving the job to Dwayne Haskins. He thought he made a mistake. The tweets are coming in at Grant H. Paulson and Funny Danny if you want to answer our question, which is, did the end of the season change how you feel about Smith at all? Should it change how the team feels about Smith at all? And how much should it influence his future with the club? Jim says the Washington football team has to move forward without Alex. Someone has to retire for his own good. He has nothing left to prove. I'm a little bit